But what I liked is the first thing she said was, well, she said, well, now I will tell you, before I take on any candidate, I need to know where you stand are you pro-life? And I said, absolutely. She said, but how pro-life? I said, from conception to natural death. And she said, how pro-life? I said, no exceptions. And she said, okay, we can work together. And oh no. And then she said, and where are you on same-sex marriage? And I said, it doesn't exist. There's only a man and a woman. And she said, okay, I like that she asked me. It wasn't like, oh, I have this potential for a candidate now that I've gotten really into this just to make money. It was like, no, they have to have these core beliefs before I'm going to even sign up.
She didn't give you the ingredients. She asked what you had inside.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes. And so she then said yes, that she called me back and said, okay, I think there's, because the ask her, is there a path? I mean, I'm not a Pollyanna. I mean, thinking, oh, I'm going to do this, but there's no path to victory here, And so she had done a lot of research and all, and she said, I think there's a path. I think there is. And I said, okay. And so I didn't even tell her about the phone call with Jim because I didn't know what what it was going to be. And plus she's in Houston and I'm right there. I don't live an hour from him, where Sabine County is. And so we drive over there. He hands me this email. And how you can see who it was to and from. He got all this, the trail. And he said, I talked to a friend of mine and she reached out to a friend of hers that has more her pulse on the political world and wanted to know what it would be for someone to run for Senate. And it's Jessica Cook. Mm-hmm. Yes. And I looked at him and I said, do you see who she reached out to? And he said, well, yeah, somebody. And he kind of looked over at me. He goes, yeah, some lady named Jessica. And I said, that's who I've hired as my consultant. And he said, oh, no, I didn't know that. And and then you're just realizing, and there has been something like that on this campaign trail almost every day.